What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're going to take a look at Mysterio from the movie Spider-Man Far From Home. And if you want to get this figure, head over to bigbadtoystore.com. It's actually available now. So yeah, I'll put the link down below. Hell of a figure. I highly suggest you get him. It's $4 shipping, and they double box this figure. So that is a good deal right there. Let's take a look at this figure. So if you take out the sleeve, there's a beautiful artwork of the upgraded suit. You see Mysterio there in the corner, and then there's like a dome in that slip cover. And let's open this up, and on the back you see this his eye effect. That is pretty neat. And it says here Mysterio. I think I purchased all the line from Far From Home, not intentionally, it just happened, you know, because they made some awesome figure from this line, from the homemade suit to the upgraded one. Even Night Monkey I thought was pretty cool, especially if you get the deluxe version, and now Mysterio. So unknowingly, I think I love the movie apparently, because I did buy all of them. But you know, it's mostly for the figures, to be quite honest with you. They're just terrific. I mean, who can resist all these effects right here? This is beautiful. They have some weight to them as well, and they're a lot bigger than I thought they would be. So this is pretty cool. And let's take out the figure. I've heard a lot of good things about this figure, but you guys have no idea up until you hold them to your hand and realize how good of a figure it is. Like, quality wise, the accessory is just enough. You know, that's just enough to have that. Nothing's really gonna be left inside, you know, the box or your accessory box, outside of maybe the head sculpt and, you know, those two things that you put on his chest once you decide to take out the cape. And I love that about a figure. And you can see here, you know, decent amount of accessories. And let's take a closer look at them. You got some fisted hands, and you got obviously the open palm hands, and some nice details on this gloves. As you can see, they're kind of like layered. You see something on the knuckles, on the fingertips and all that stuff. Some, I don't know, armor, so to speak. So that's nice, color gold. You see this FX hand. So I would say 99% of anyone who has Mysterio is gonna put this on and gonna leave it on. You know, you're probably not gonna use the open palm or the fisted hands ever, just because it, you know, this is so versatile. You know, when you want to take pictures and whatnot, this is what you're gonna use. And this guy right here, this is one thing that you put into his costume or his outfit once you remove the cape, to cover that hole that will be left once you take out the cape. And this is some nice effects that he does have. Kind of reminds me of Doctor Strange's effects. And as you can see on the back, those are slots for his fingertips from the previous hands that I just showed you. So you could do this nice effects from Mysterio when you want to display him. And I love these. You know, I had this with the fire effect from Hellboy, and I think they just add value to your display, to be quite honest. And they're beautiful, and I wish that Hot Toys would implement more of these in their future releases. Just, you know, just a couple, and I think it just makes a big difference. And you can use them for other figures as well. That's the beauty of it. And this guy comes with like two head sculpts, so to speak. You got the head sculpt from which we're gonna take a look at closer later, and this is the stand, which is really nice design. Again, it is one of those dynamic stands, which it would have, you know, made sense to give him that Joker treatment from Star Ace, but hey, they didn't, so whatever. Here we go. Let's take a look at the figure himself. It looks nice. Again, I took out the cape so you guys can fully appreciate the level of details. And those two is there like, it's like Eye of Agamotto, maybe it is, let me know in the comments. I don't read, I have no idea what the backstory of Mysterio is. But the outfit itself, you know, you got the armor on the chest piece all the way down to his torso, like into his belly, and it does have, it is plastic, so there's no bend whatsoever on that area. The arms, it's two suits, so you can kind of like put the arms, like what I mean is the from the shoulders all the way to the chest. I believe they're like separated, so you can, you know, do all sorts of poses. And you see the gauntlet, I don't know if you want to call it gauntlet, is kind of solid. I believe you can take it out if you want to. Going down to the boots, and nicely implemented here. This is kind of like a split cut boot, so you can post the ankles, in several ways, but it just looks so seamless. It is just beautiful how they implemented that. Look at that. No one would even thought of that. It's two parts. So that is kudos to Hot Toys for that. And the material that they use for the pants or the arms itself kind of reminds you of those Toys era fabric, although maybe not as stretchy as them. They're a bit thicker, but I still feel like there's a little bit of resistance, but you feel like they can give you some poses that weren't how do you say this? They weren't possible maybe like 4 or 3 years ago if they ever did a Mysterio back then. But you see the arms area here on the side of his armor as well, going down all the way to his legs. Just nicely done, beautiful. It's a lot of details when it comes to his armor, and it does have luminous effect. As you can see, the green part, once you shine it with the UV light, which I do have, I use this for like Black Panther. Nice effects that they do have. Would it have been nicer if there's an LED sort of like Iron Man? Sure, but that would increase the price as well, so I am okay with that. Speaking of LED, let's take a look at his dome / helmet. A lot of people, this was controversial before. The seam on the top of his head doesn't really bother me. I'm not sure if this is probably not accurate, in the movie, but it doesn't bother me. What I am more impressed though is the fact that the clouds inside of that Mysterio dome is so detailed. It is beautiful. And let me tell you, first and foremost, I pre-ordered this at Big Bad Toy Store back then. It has no NRD, so I went ahead. I wasn't completely sold on the character, but going back now, we're hearing about Sinister Six and all that stuff, so maybe he's nice to have one. As of the moment, are they going to remake this guy? Who knows? But even if they did, if you're watching this like right now, I would definitely recommend this to you to pick it up. Not because for future purchases or whatnot, but it's just a great figure. It's just, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, there's like a very few villains that he does have as of the moment. Now, is that going to change with a new movie? I'm pretty sure it will. But as of now, look at that bright LED light right there. You put the dome in. But as of right now, I'm telling you guys, this is up there as far as one of the best figures of this year. It's up there, I can tell you that. I'm gonna, before the end of the year, I'm gonna recap all the ones that I reviewed or I missed, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna be up there. See, the light's kind of pulsating, so let me lower down the ISO so you can kind of see the cloudiness of the nature of this. You can see some, dark spots here and there. Look at that. That is just beautiful right there. And with the LED, let's turn him around. Are those my fingerprints? Are you gonna call FBI or something? But you see this, turning around. There's like a lot of details in this dome, which is pretty cool. No, I don't see myself using the head sculpt as good as it is, and I'll show you how good that is. But this is just impressive to me. I inserted the battery. The LED is pretty strong, so it's not one of those little tiny. It's like one strip, but again, the light is amazing. So you can see it right here. I don't know what else you could change. Maybe take out the seam, but that's pretty much about it. And as far as the head sculpt, so this is the Mysterio or Jake Gyllenhaal from a scene in the movie. And as you can see there, I think there's a lot of similarities. If I had to point out one thing, maybe the shape of the face is a little too skinny on the Hot Toys. Maybe the eyes could use a little bit of, maybe it could be a little bit bigger, perhaps. But other than that, I think it's a pretty good likeness. Pretty good likeness. I would say that's a 9, outside of the shape of the face again. But I think the features like the nose, the beard, and all that stuff. Maybe the beard could use a little thickness. So maybe a 9. I'll give it a 9. It's pretty close. Pretty close. Just maybe just a little bit meat on the bone on his face. Because this one, it looks like just, he's pretty skinny on the face wise. And they could have made this just one piece with the neck and the face all together to avoid. I mean, I understand you get more range of articulation here, but do you really need to? Like it's Mysterio. Do you really need to? And I mean, it's not bad or anything. I just thought that it would have been easier if it was one piece to remove and insert this head sculpt, because that collar piece right there, it is a part of the his outfit. So you gotta adjust it back and forth when you are, and I'm afraid that those edges are gonna fray over time if you continue doing that. So that is just me, But so far, I would say it looks fantastic, and you can even use the Edith that comes with your upgraded suit if you have one. It's a little smaller in his face, and I'm surprised that they didn't anticipate this, because the ears are kind of tucked inside. There's like a hair on top of his ears, so there's really no space for Edith to hook onto. But you can make it work, as you can see from what I just did here. But I don't suggest leaving this for too long, because it's a little tight on his face. Then it's not made for him, but you could just make it work. But here he is, guys, Mysterio. And I am kind of, I don't know if you noticed some purple lighting, but I'm showing his cape as well, because I remembered I didn't show it on the overall look earlier, but you can see some luminous effect on the back of his cape, as well as on the front of his armor. Beautiful. Like there's anything that you would ask for a figure. This is like a throwback figure from Hot Toys, where you got a gimmick, which is the light up functionality. You got this luminous effect, again, another gimmick. You got a beautiful head sculpt, nice accessories. You got this, effects. I mean, what else could you ask for him? Maybe an Edith, but you can get that from the upgraded suit. So you got some nice effects here from that I just made up for Mysterio in his back, and people are running. This is, I think, in the London scene right here. So he just came over and he got this mystic green effect going all over the place. He just looks good. If you have a Spider-Man figure, there's a ton of those out there, regardless of what you have. Spider-Man, the game Spider-Man, that could work as well. But his look, can't deny the fact that he is Mysterio, and he would work for anything, whether it's the game from the VGM line. He would, put the helmet on, and take out this head sculpt, so you got kind of like a video game character. Or, you can even match him up with older Spider-Man, like not just Tobey. If you have the Tobey Maguire, once you put the helmet on, I think it's open season. You can kind of like pretend that he is a comic book character, and not just from the movie itself, because I think it's a good likeness out there as well. And as far as size comparison, we got the upgraded suit here right next to him, so pretty good height comparison here. He's a little bit taller than Spider-Man. They're both on their respective bases, but I believe that they're the same height. He just looks a little tall because of the way his cape is. It's kind of like it's hardened, so it's kind of like protruding out. But it's not that big of a difference, to be quite honest with you, in hand at least. So that is beautiful figure right here. So there you go, guys. We got Mysterio right now available at Big Bad Toy Store. Go ahead and check them out. Great company. That's where I always get my Hot Toys from, because they double box your figure as well. So if you're like me, who sells figures all the time, you know your box is gonna come in pristine. But as far as the figure itself, it is amazing. It's an amazing looking figure. Like I mentioned earlier, everything that you would ask for, that you want for in a figure, is in here. Beautiful head sculpt, tailoring is nice. Decent amount of articulation. Obviously, there's no ab crunch, but you don't need to. Why would you need an ab crunch for this guy? Gimmick, the light off gimmick. Base is quite nice once you include those green effects that he does have. And again, like I said, those green effects, you can use them anywhere else. If you're into photography, that would serve you well. Not only that, for display purposes as well. Beautiful head sculpt, like I mentioned earlier, and most of his most of his accessories are gonna be out, like these effects, the smoke, so nothing would be left inside the box, and decently priced at what, like $258, I believe, or almost, let's say $260. Decently priced compared to the new announcements nowadays. This would be a steal. So if you are a Spider-Man fan, I highly recommend this to you. If you're not, and you're just a figure fan, I still recommend this to you. A great figure. Would they reissue this? Who knows, man. The next movie I heard is going to be nuts. So there is a chance. But how different would he look? You know, this is already an excellent figure, so don't miss out on this. Thank you for watching, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. And I will see you